Hello guys, welcome in this new video session. We are continuing chapter number 2 and you know the name of the chapter is Mechanical Properties of Fluids. Today we are going to see the difference between atmospheric pressure and gauge pressure. You know that what is meant by atmospheric pressure. But for comparison with gauge pressure, we are again going to study the atmospheric pressure here. Let us see what is atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure at any point is equal to the weight of the vertical column of air having unit cross-sectional area and starting from that point extending up to the top of the atmosphere. The weight of such air column which is acting in a downward direction at a particular point, that is called as atmospheric pressure. You can see this is the point on the surface of the earth. And if we start from the surface of the earth, the height of the air column is maximum. So atmospheric pressure is maximum on the surface of the earth. We have considered this point here on the surface of the earth. So it is maximum pressure, and that maximum pressure which is at sea level, we can say maximum pressure is at sea level. This pressure at sea level is also called as normal atmospheric pressure. But as we go above from the surface of the earth, the height of this liquid column decreases, so the pressure also decreases. Vacuum is the region where the pressure is less than atmospheric pressure. But when we say absolute vacuum, then absolute vacuum is the region where there is absence of atoms or molecules, means there is no matter, then we call it as an absolute vacuum. But here in this case, when we say that only vacuum is the region where the pressure is less than the atmospheric pressure, then we call it as a vacuum region. Okay, is that clear? Now let us see what is gauge pressure. Gauge pressure can be understood with the help of a figure. You can see this is a container or a vessel which possesses some liquid. The cylindrical column of this liquid is considered, and this is the depth of the liquid column. The pressure at this point at a depth is given by the formula P is equal to PA plus D rho G. This is the pressure at the point at depth D below the surface of the liquid. This liquid is open to atmosphere. You have to remember this liquid is open to atmosphere. So there is atmospheric pressure here also, and in addition to that, D rho G, when added, we get a pressure at this point. Let us understand the meaning of each and every symbol here. P is the pressure at the point which is at a depth D below the surface of the liquid. PA is the atmospheric pressure. D is the depth below the surface of the liquid. Rho is the density of the liquid, and G is the acceleration due to gravity. Suppose this is equation number 1. Now, it is clear from this equation that the pressure is greater at depth D than the pressure of atmosphere. This pressure at depth D is greater than the atmospheric pressure. This excess of pressure is given by P minus PA is equal to D rho G. Means when this PA is shifted to the left hand side, it becomes minus. So P minus PA is the excess in pressure. At depth D, this is the excess in pressure, and this excess in pressure is called as gauge pressure, which is given by the formula D rho G, where D is the depth, rho is the density of the liquid, and G is acceleration due to gravity. So from this discussion, it is clear that gauge pressure is the difference between the absolute pressure and the atmospheric pressure. So you can remember this. This equation 2 gives us the gauge pressure, which is the difference between the absolute pressure and atmospheric pressure. So I hope that you must have understood what is meant by atmospheric pressure and gauge pressure. Okay guys, now we are going to study an important topic here, hydrostatic paradox. First of all, let us understand what is meant by hydrostatics. Hydrostatics is a branch of physics which deals with the study of properties of fluids at rest. Means when we study the properties of fluids at rest, that branch of physics is called as hydrostatics. Now let us come to the point here. Hydrostatic paradox means what? Dear students, you can see there are 4 different vessels, A, B, C and D. And all the vessels are interconnected here. You can see here clearly. Now if we pour a liquid in any one of them, it is noticed that the level of the liquid in each and every vessel is same. Now this observation is puzzling or perplexing because the shape of the vessels is different and the amount of liquid held by each vessel is also different. Even then, the height of liquid column is same in each and every vessel, and this is called hydrostatic paradox. This perplexing or puzzling observation is called as hydrostatic paradox. Now, dear student, it might be considered that the amount of liquid in vessel C is greater as its shape is different than vessel B, vessel A and vessel D. So it might also be considered that the pressure at the base of C vessel is greater than that at the base of vessel B. So the vessel C contains some liquid and that liquid level might fall and it may rise into the liquid in vessel B. But dear students, it is never observed. Let us clear this point by considering the part of vessel C. You can see here another figure which is a part of vessel C. You can see that the force exerted by the walls of the container on the liquid is perpendicular to the walls of the container. And all these forces can be resolved into 2 components. One is a horizontal component and one is a vertical component. The vertical components of all these forces balances the weight of the liquid inside the vessel. Means from this consideration it is clear that only the weight of the liquid in the part B, which is a cylindrical column, exerts a pressure at the base of the vessel. Only this part of the liquid column exerts a pressure on the base of the vessel, and this pressure is equal to the pressure in all other vessels. And this clears what is hydrostatic paradox. Means this fact that the pressures or the forces which are acting by the walls of the container balances some weight of the liquid in upward direction. Means all the liquid in the vessel does not exert the pressure at the base of the vessel. Only there is some cylindrical column which exerts the pressure at the base. And this fact resolves the hydrostatic paradox. Okay, is that clear?